What up? It's your boy T-Bear here in the reaction. Today is Music Monday. We're going to some Tracklib. Tracklib, one of the best sites ever for marketing for samples as well too. For royalty fair samples, help you to find good samples from all over the country, well-known samples as well too, as well to help you get a license as well, and even help you get an idea of what kind of chops you want too, with their loop features, their beat features, and their new pitch features. But anyway, what they also like to do is highlight producers and legends who's been sampled the mostly as well too. One of them being legendary producer and one half of the legendary hip hop duo Mobb Deep, Havoc, along with the late great Havoc, who was part of Mobb Deep, along with the late great Prodigy as well too. Havoc was a dope producer through the years as well too, including producing one of their big hit, the iconic hit Shook Ones, which is videos about. So this is from via Tracklib. Sample breakdown extended how Havoc created iconic beats like Shook Ones Part 2. Many of it, and trust me, that to be one of his best chops of all time right there, because if you hear the original sample compared to what's been chopped, he killed it. Anyway, without further ado, let's check it out.
Shook Ones Part 2 is an iconic track with a lot of layers to it, but we're talking about this specific part of it. Where Havoc flips the same part of the sample into different pitches and speeds. So what made Havoc's production technique, not the least his sampling technique, so special, etching him into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame? Let's find out.
I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers.
This is a series where we take a closer look at some of the coolest sampling techniques we've come across while making our sample breakdowns, dive deeper into the historical context surrounding them, and show you how you can use these techniques to expand your own sampling toolkit.
Havoc is one half of the legendary hip-hop rap group Mobb Deep. He was born on May 21st, 1974 in Brooklyn and raised in the Queensbridge houses of Queens, New York. His father was a DJ who used to play records when friends came over the house. This would prove to come in handy later on when he wanted to start his music production career by being able to dig in the crates in his own home. Tracks from Run DMC like Sucker MCs would give Havoc some of his favorite rhymes and have him start falling in love with hip hop. But it wasn't until a friend put him on to the Jungle Brothers, a hip hop trio from New York, that Havoc would get inspired to start writing his own rhymes. While attending the High School of Art and Design in Manhattan, New York, he met Prodigy, and together they formed the Poetical Prophets, which later turned into what we know them as today, Mobb Deep. At the time of making Shook Ones Part 2, he was using the MPC-60 and the Ensoniq EPS Plus keyboard. Because the MPC-60 had about 8 seconds of sampling, he had to get really creative. So he was speeding up his samples, slowing them down, pitching them down, just to make the most use of that time. Because of this, he was able to develop the technique that we're seeing today on the Shook Ones Part 2. At the time of making this track, Havoc was really into jazz records and sampling those. And legend has it that the Jessica record was just lying on the floor with other dusty records in his collection at his mom's house in Queensbridge.
He digs it out and puts it on. 3 minutes into the album's 5th track, he comes across this tiny 2-second part.
Havoc isolates the piano section and slows down the tempo, as well as changes the pitch of the sample. This creates an atmosphere that the beat can exist within. By duplicating that sample, he's then able to mess around with the speed and the pitch, creating the second part of his melody with the same exact piano. This makes Havoc really unique because most producers would pick just a different part of the sample to create that secondary part of the melody. By using that same part of the sample, he's able to create a lot of variation rhythmically and melodically.
Nice.
He also took the drums from Dolly Wilson Big Band's Dirty Feet. He pitched them down and made them sound heavy and dirty. He also took a sound effect from Quincy Jones' Kitty with the Bent Frame from the original motion picture soundtrack to the movie Dollars. This sound effect made the overall track feel very dark and gritty. These were all the ingredients that Havoc needed in order to make a hip-hop classic.
My goodness, man, that is just fucking awesome right there, man. Oh man, and inspirational to listen, to watch, and hear about too, man. For real.
Such things as halfway crooks, scared to death and scared to look. They shook, cause ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Now, let's see how we can utilize this technique ourselves.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to tracklib.com, and I can browse on this left-hand navigation here. You'll see I have tracks, and I can navigate this by genres, song keys.
Good. Now you're gonna, for those that now you won't be about word, you get the idea, visual how what it's like a Tracklib. As you see right there, I'm gonna take a look right there. You see right here, you got, this is how Tracklib has their samples set up. You got right here your song, whole song right here, and you see some that have multi-tracks, meaning that means they have stems for these. That's the other awesome thing about Tracklib. They have stems for some of these samples as well too. You can save it or put it in a collection, download it with based on how many credits you have as well too. And this little part right here you have for what should let you know what BPM it is originally. So in case you get the idea, and if you know this part right here, there's a level of license based on the level. The lowest level being C is how much is at $50 to get your samples licensed, and the price increased by a level of B and A being the highest as well too. And in the bottom right here you have your loop feature and a beat feature. Loop feature help you find when you find a nice loop to dial few loops, either 4 bars, 8 bars. I think they go to 12 bars. I think as well too. I think do 2 bars as well too, as well as beats. They got different types of beats to add with this boom bap, trap, techno slash house, or simple beat, simple kick, simple and simple. I think they have snipples high as well too. I think they have some new ones as well too. So other than that, let's keep going.
Track types, BPM, year, and all of these are filters, right? So we know that Havoc sampled something prior to the 80s in his track, and we know it was a jazz track. So we can actually filter to get the same type of vibes that he got. And you can see here there's also all these subgenres that I can filter by as well. And here I can just preview all the tracks that are available, and then what I like to do is add to a collection once I find a track that fits my needs. So I've already gone ahead and done that, and let me play the piano track that we'll be sampling today.
And you better see the feature away.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in the actual sample, and I already know what part I want to sample. I want to take like the piano part of the sample, similar to how Havoc did on his record. So I want to start from here.
See, use the push.
And that's the part I want to take. So I want to make sure this is on time so that when I chop it up, I can just take that one loop. So basically what I'm doing here is just making sure that this is on time. So now I have the downbeat here and then the downbeat over here. So I'll take this sample and here's where the fun starts to create that Havoc technique. So I'll just chop this sample up. So basically I'm taking the first part of this sample, right? These first 2 hits. And you can see I still have all of this left over, all of this to work with. To get this Havoc technique, essentially all I'm gonna do is take this section back here and just speed it up so that it all plays. And I can actually also change the actual pitch of this. So I'll do 3 semitones. Actually, I'll leave this at 0 and then do -3 on the actual first part of the sample. So I'll do -3 on the first part, copy that over, and then the last part is going to be at the regular tempo and pitch.
It's that simple. You can just take the same rhythmic part, the same melodic part, pitch it down, and then stretch it, and you can create a different melodic part by pitching it back up and then stretching it in a different way. So now that I have my actual loop established, basically I'll just continue to add drums. I'll add a bass line that's more of that 90s bass line. It's very simple, moving, and dark and rhythmic, kind of like the Shook Ones Part 2 sample. And you'll get this kind of effect.
Ooh. Nice.
And that's how you achieve the Havoc effect.
If you're feeling inspired to use the Shook Ones Part 2 technique in one of your productions, whether it's hip hop, EDM, rock, indie, or any other style, make sure to check out our Inspired collection on tracklib.com.
That's awesome right there. I might have to check that out myself, like how you did that too. I might definitely check that on my own, try it on my own, see if I can try it on my NBC. If not, I might have to go back to my Ableton, and even though I do Ableton Lightless still. But other than that, this was a good video to watch if you had to, and it's educational for sure though, for sure. But anyway, and always you got Tracklib, Havoc guys, Tracklib, and then I also post my Tracklib link on my description, and try to remember to do at least the description as well as put it on the pin and on the comment as well too, so y'all can do that to help each other out. Scratch your back, you scratch mine as well too. But other than that, good video though. If you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Always shout out to Tracklib. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. On love.